Hello there, what's up guys? This is ShikiYuki. As for this video, I'll be teaching Hello, what's up guys? This is ShikiYuki. As for this video, I'll be teaching you how you should take care of your board game. So without further ado, let's get this started. For this video, I'll be starting that people start this kind of hobby as they don't have any knowledge at all. With that, I'll be giving you tips and tricks of how you should take care of your board games in a great condition. So, there are a lot of tips. Let's go and tackle them one by one. Or whatever. So, number one is unboxing. So, there's actually a great way to unbox your board games, which is if you know they're in wrappings or the plastic wraps that you could use them to cover your board games. So actually I'm going to be teaching you how to unbox those games. The reason I'm doing this is to help you guys to maintain its great condition, and then at the same time, whenever I'm looking to unboxing videos in YouTube or in personal where my friends do unwrap their games and I be like, why you do that? You could use those plastic wrappings or cover for that game to protect them. With that, I'm just gonna give you two things that you need for unwrapping. Of course, first of all, you'll be needing a very sturdy card, and then second, this kind of its size Scotch tape. It's not big, but just an alright size. Now, why you need those two? Let me now demonstrate you. For this unboxing, I'll be using this copy called Legend of Korra, the board game, which is a two-player game. I haven't played this personally, but yeah, as you can see, it's still not yet unwrapped. Basically, I just borrowed this board game from Game Detected, which is an online board game store. Or rather, it is also a board game area that you could play games upon reservation. So if you're interested to check out the place, you could just go and visit the page. Now for this video, I'll be using this board game to show you how you should unwrap your board games. So first of all, you're gonna be using the back of the board game. So you could see that there are some small gaps here. Alright, what you're gonna be doing for those gaps is that you're gonna use this card and then just slide it here on the board game. So as you can see, I'm punching like through the fiction with this card. So as you can see, it cuts through. I'm slicing it through like how you should slice your cake or your dessert or whatever kind of food that can be used for slicing. So you just keep on doing this. Now, if you've done it right, it's gonna show you this very clean cut of the board game. So you could see there you go. You set this aside first, and then here's the board game, which is I cut it nicely. So to pull out the board game, you just simply take out this one, which is on both ends, and just simply leave it like this. See? So what happens is the board game fell here. Now, so yeah, this is the front, and then the back is here, which is the contents of the game. I'm just gonna go show you how this awesome board game is, but for now, later. I'm gonna set this on the side. Now I'm going to be teaching you how you should tape it. So you'll be using this tape. I just need to find that. Oh, there we go. Now what you have to do is to measure the size of this board game. So on this board game, you just have to measure enough of its size, the measuring should be in this manner. So you could see the measuring here. I just gonna show you like this. So this is how big you should do. Don't don't put it too much on the edge, because you'll be also like pressing it down. I'll show you how you should do it in the right way. So I just cut the tape and then do it like this. So if you're gonna stick it, you have to stick it at least like this. Not too much on the game itself. You just have to stick it a small portion of the board game itself, so that you'll get to see its final product. Now, to press it down, you have to use both of your hands like this. So you have your thumbs here. What you have to do is you press both ends here. So if you're gonna push it like this with your index finger on front of the board game, or outward of the board game, or on the outside of the board game, and then on the thumbs, you're gonna be pushing them down like this. So you could see that the tape is already on the insides. What you have to do is press them forward like this, and then there you go. Your board game is now protected. So you just have to do this in all sides. So on the far side, you won't see that there's actually tape on it, but if you look at it closely, there's tape on it. It gives the board game a very aesthetic look. So it's gonna, and it also protects the board game from scratches or from water residue or something else. So you just have to do that in all sides. So I'm already done taping all the sides of the board game. This is the final look. Look at it. It's still in its very cool aesthetic look of the board game. So yeah, I'll just set this cover for now. Now for the contents of the game, what you should expect, and then how you should do the unwrappings. Now, first of all, you'll get to always see the rulebooks of the game. There are actually a lot of rulebooks of the game. Rulebook expansions. So there are some board games like this that has a lot of books in it. Rulebooks, or whatever extra content would be there. Set this on the side. Board game. What's that? So this is the board game of Legend of Korra. So the setting of this game is, if you know the pro bending tournament that happened in the first few episodes, it's something like that. That's the setting of, or the theme of the game. Tokens, probably for the miniatures, and then extra resealable bags. There are actually some in the games. So in this game's case, there do some few here. But don't fret if the game lacks the resealable bags. You can actually produce them yourself or buy some for yourself, which I'm going to be explaining you how you should store the tokens, the cards, miniatures, and so on. Set this one aside. What's this? I think this is like in one specific episode in Legend of Korra. Sorry for Legend of Korra fans, I haven't watched it yet, but soon maybe I should probably watch the Legend of Avatar series. I mean, it's also the best classic animation after all. I hope some of the people won't be triggered by this. Set this one aside. Tokens. So they come from the punch outs, which I'm going to be showing you how you should punch them out. Character boards or team boards maybe, and some expansions. Cards that comes from the plastics, which I'm going to show you as well how you should open them. And of course this big old collection of miniatures. Interesting. No matter how this game is played, I'm actually quite excited to learn this. It's also the reason why I did borrow this from our company. So there's a lot of cards, and more cards. Hopefully this is a very good game. Alright, now I'm going to be showing you how you should rough or punch them out. The first, I should open this one. Open. Set that aside. Set these characters aside. Poised. And there we go. So these are the punch outs. How you should punch out your games would actually affect the tokens condition. So this is the front, and then this is the back. You would recognize that it is the back. It's very symmetrical. Those board game tokens are very symmetrical, while this one is not so symmetrical because you could see there's our outlines there, right? And then this one doesn't have any outlines. You could see it in the reflector right there. Alright, so to punch out the board game tokens, you have to push them like that, and then don't force it like this. You can see I actually took one already without any problems. What you're gonna do is that you're going to be supporting some of your fingers on the back, and then your thumb will be like pushing it simply like this. So push, and then if it hangs like that, you just pick it out like berry or cherry or a fruit that you just simply pick one out or something like that. So push, pluck, push, and then pluck, push and pluck, push and pluck. That's how you simply you should do it. So you should pluck. No, you should push it on the front of the punch out, not on the back. Because if you do it on the back, the board tokens would possibly tear itself, because the manufacturers did do this in the manner that you should punch the tokens out on their punch outs. Okay, so let me just do this quickly. So I show this fast forwarding. Now, so I come now to this very uncommon shape of a token. So usually the tokens are circle. Now this is a very complicated one. Still the same rule of plucking out board games. You just simply push it, and then if it hangs out, and then you just simply pluck it like that. So find a very soft spot that you could push, that you can punch out the token, and then just simply pluck it like this. If it happens to be hard like this, so I cannot pluck it simply, you just have to tear it in here at the back like that. If it happens to be very difficult now because you cannot support the back, what you do is just simply do it like this. So you could see that I put one index finger on one of the already punched out tokens, and then you support it at the back, or you just simply support the whole punch out thing like this. So I support it, and then I just simply push it with my thumb. There, you see, I just simply pushed out with my thumb, and then you pluck it at the back like this. Push and pluck. Push and then pluck. Punch out. So number 1 is already punched out. Now for some tokens that has an extra paper here which triggers your OCD if ever there's an extra paper that's laying down here, you could just use a nail cutter to just simply cut it, but doing so you have to avoid tearing some of the papers here. You just have to just remove the extra paper, not going too much on its sides. I have another one right here, but I'm not gonna show you how to punch it now since you already know how to punch it up. So let's go and skip to another tip. So for deck cards like this one, so some deck of cards are packaged like this ones. So to unwrap this one, you're going to be looking with these lines like this one, and then what you do is you look on the side that has like a gap. So what you do is look for its gap right here, and then there you go. So you could see that there's actually a plastic line here, and then you just simply strip it out like this. Boom, strip it, take it out, and then these are your deck of cards. So you could see, oh, what's this? Oh, I see. So probably these are combo cards or some sort. I cannot show you properly because I'm a douche. So this is the first deck in the game. There are actually a lot of decks, but I already show you how. If you don't have any nails because you just recently cut them, what you need to do is to find the gap here, like what I did normally. If you cannot pluck it with your index finger or whatnot, you just have to find a nail cutter. Why? I'll show you why. So this is the nail cutter. What you're just gonna simply do is, you gotta be very careful with it though. So look for that line right here, and then I cannot do that. Otherwise, if you cannot do it normally, you just simply cut here on the edge. Do it like this, but you have to be very careful. So you cut it to the edge, and then you'll make a hole out of it. There we go. You'll make a hole out of it, and then just simply tear it with your hands. Like that. Very gently. And then there we go. Deck of cards opened. More cards. More combos, I guess. Now, so you have all of these tokens right here. How do you store them now? Now, to store them, you're gonna be needing these resealable bags. So I bought these resealable bags at Geekbox PH. You could just go and check their Shopee or their Facebook website. You can inquire them on how you could purchase them. So in this case, they do have 4 sizes. So there's small, medium, large, then extra large. a very big resealable bag right there that I couldn't even use it too much. Now, for these resealable bags, depending of what would you prefer, like do you categorize these tokens, like for the large, like this large, for this large resealable bag, you're just gonna be simply just taking all of these punched out ones for now, and then just simply put them here. The reason why you want to do that is to prevent from these tokens from getting lost in one of the insides of the board game, or also to organize the insides or the contents of the board game or the components of the board game itself. That's the reason why you should get resealable bags. Now for the cards. So there are some cards like this one, so probably this is like Yu-Gi-Oh sized. The reason why I know that it is a Yu-Gi-Oh size because it is actually very bit thin and then or longer than the usual. If you know Magic the Gathering, that's the standard size. So you could compare Magic the Gathering to a playing cards size. So usually their size for the sleeves is around 64 by 89. Which is just gonna go and pop it right here. So yeah, in this case, probably this size might be around 60 by 90 maybe, something like that. So most of the board games do have very common size, MGT size. So what you're board game cards do have very standard-ish size that is similar to Magic the Gathering. So you're usually just gonna go and buy 64 by 90, or what I do prefer is 65 by 90. The reason is that I'm going to be showing you. So to show you how the card sleeves looks like for the cards. So this is the 65 by 90. You cannot see it that way. So this is the card. Hopefully I could focus it. So you could see that there are some parts hanging on the card, which I do prefer because I would like a space for my cards. That way, that if there's something like a water spill or something whatever, it prevents the damage for the cards. Now, to show you how you sleeve your cards, as a deck builder or a gamer who is into deck building, I prefer to sleeve it. So this is the card in upright. I sleeve it actually on the up position like that. Though you could just sleeve it like the normal weaves would do, which is like this. Or if you want to do it like this, that's not a problem at all. The reason why I do it in reverse or from up to down is because when you shuffle cards, it actually tears here, the sleeves. So to prevent that, I just do it in reverse, so when I shuffle, it doesn't damage too much. So if you want to know what these card sleeves are, so these are Swan Panacea sleeves, which basically they do have two types of sleeves, which is thin and then thick. So for this one, which is a thin one example, I did bought this from a specific board game that I do have here in my collection right here or somewhere around there. I probably just gonna pop it in my video right there. So the thin ones, the pros for them is that they have all in large quantities. Like for example, if you're gonna buy card sleeves of 65 by 90, they're going to be like a count of 160 pieces per pack. And then the cons for it is that because it's not for collecting purposes, their durability or their long-lasting protection is slowly wears off in time if you're not taking care too much of those sleeves. I mean, if it's gonna be played by the kids, or if it's gonna be played by those thoughtless people who doesn't have any board games. Alright, next. Now, for the thick ones like this one, for this case, this is 88 by 126. These are sleeves that you'll be usually using for character cards, which I'm going to be showing you later, but for now, I'll be giving you the pros. The pros of this one are they're very durable. I mean, look at it. Or listen to the sound of that. It's not too plasticky, if you could hear it. So the cons is just reverse as well, which is it only has a quantity of that. Example is that if you're gonna be buying a 65 by 90 card sleeves, you're gonna be just getting 100 of it per pack. To show you the con of how the thin ones are, listen to it. It's very a little plasticky, right? So it slowly or gradually gets tear down. So if you just want to protect it in budgeted, you can just use this one, you know. Or if you want to get a large quantity pieces of sleeves. Well, don't get me wrong, they do have the same price of 180. So if you want to buy card sleeves, you can just go and inquire from Game Detective, as they do have a restock of all, if not all, most of the sizes of the card sleeve from Swan Panisha. So you could just go and check them out. Now for the character ones, they look like this. So this game come from Dunlop. So just like this. Anyway, it looks like this. So this is an 88 by 126. So usually these kinds of cards you'll be needing them as well. If they are character cards or game cards or something big like this, you're probably gonna get an 88 by 126. Now, next one would be something that not much people do. Why though? So if you're not gonna be using the board game for a very long time, of course, the contents inside would gradually smell like wooden pieces or old thing or whatnot. You know what I mean now. In my case, I do buy this, which is a silica gel. It even has free on it. I usually buy this silica gels on Ace Hardware, as they do have this promo, which is a free 1-pack. It comes with 3 of these bags, and then it costs around 150 or so. So it's very cheap to store your board games. Why you do that? So the thing here is that these silica gels are very helpful in preserving a long life for them. So if you put one into the board games, they won't smell that long. It sounded so wrong. Or rather, the quality of the board games inside or the contents of it is still fresh. Like, it doesn't have any problems with it. Like, it doesn't care even if the world crumbles. And then another tip would be example. So you put one small deck of cards in one of the resealable bags, and then what I do simply is just also put some silica gels inside as well. The reason why I do that is because there are some, people that has very greasy hands or whatnot, or very sweaty hands. Sorry if you offended to some, but yeah, it actually helps to absorb those, some of those residues and then grains, and then you just simply still looks fresh. To show you an example of those, which is I'm not gonna be pulling out a board game here, which I'm just gonna go and flash a picture of how I did to one board game that I do have, which is here. I know, I know, I know why I hell I even do that, but that's basically how I take care of my board games. Next one would be this, an unadhesive tape. What I mean is that you'll be actually binding some of those deck of cards because they are very, you know, if you don't have any resealable bags, you'll be using this probably. So why non-adhesive tape? I'm going to be showing you an example, which I'm going to be cutting some portion, which is I'm going to save this one. The reason for doing so is that you could also actually use this as a budgeted binding device for your board games, so that they will be in very close condition, because there are some board games, if you store them vertically, their contents will be like, or the insides would be like flat. It's gonna open a bit of the board game itself. Now, the reason why you do this is because it doesn't stick to your skin or whatnot. It's non-adhesive tape. Why hell you do that? So it sticks through friction. I'll show you now. It sticks through friction. So if I stick it like this, so sorry, you could see it right now. There we go. So it doesn't simply tear by itself. You just simply tear it. I mean, look at it. So if you tear it like that, it's still in its condition, but of course it's already flimsy right now. But it's very sturdy. I mean, look at it. If I rip it like this, it doesn't damage so much. So if you're gonna use it as a very budgeted version of making your board games tight, so that if you're gonna bringing them outside to play with your friends, it's a very helpful tip right there. Next tip, if it is a rainy season, you'll be needing something to wrap your board games. This is food wrapping, which is basically you're just gonna get some fish, which is getting a bit of a portion of it, and there. You just wrap it around to your board game, and then voila, you could take out of it. If you're gonna be bringing out some of the board games, like you have a count of, I don't know, 4, 5, 3 board games that are very big, and then you don't know which bags would you be using, here are the following 3 that I will be giving you an advice. First one, if you don't have any of these one, of course, plastic bags first, but the very big ones. The reason for that, because why not? But you have to use 2 plastic bags, so that if one bag tears, because the board game is heavy, it is a support for the plastic to prevent itself from tearing down if ever there's a situation case that's gonna happen. Second would be eco bags. One example would be the IKEA bag. If you know what it is, you could use that, which is a very big bag, big eco bag for supermarket stuff. But you can use it also in board game stuff. And then last but not the least, which is the canopy bags, or the game canopy bags. They are a bit pricey. Well, not bit pricey, but really expensive. But they could help you in storing your board games in game nights or in gaming sessions, which is just either it has a large zippers or some hidden compartments in the bag. So it's either it is backpack or a luggage type. I don't know. You could probably go and check several websites of how you could procure some of those. And I guess that wraps up for this video. Before I end this video, I'm going to be giving you a very major announcement. So this major announcement is actually, long story short, game mode is going to be back probably next month. So with that, I am going to be going back in providing those episodes again, and I can't wait, and I'm very excited again to give you insights more of my useless knowledge. Lol. With that, I guess that's it. ShikiYuki signing off, and if you like this video, please do like this video, subscribe to my channel, please do also like my Facebook page for my updates or for my in real life happenings. Comment of what video would you like to see next, and I hope to see you soon. So until then guys, thanks for watching, and then cheers. The room is very messy now with all of this unboxing stuff. Now I have to fix this.